Great to have joining us today one of the co-authors. Really fascinating book. It's called Atlas Obscura, and it is an explorer's guide to the world's hidden wonders. We're joined today by Dylan Thuras. He is the co-founder and creative director of AtlasObscura.com. He joins us by telephone. And Dylan, good to talk with you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Doug.
Hey, good to have a chance to chat with you. Very interesting, and it looks like a fun book to kind of put together. I guess you did a lot of traveling, right?
Yeah, at various points we have done some traveling. I can't say that we have all gone to every single place, but we've gone to a number of them, and you know, the whole site is basically travelers can submit places that they've been to, and our editors fact check them. So it's really wonderful to finally be able to put this out in the world.
And these are the kind of unusual places or unusual things people can see around the world, and I guess it's kind of fun just to see if some of these places are actually exist, right? You probably get some strange ones coming to you.
We do, although I'll say that we have yet to, as far as I know, we have yet to be spoofed. They all appear to be both incredibly weird and also totally real.
How did you get involved with doing this?
Well, so this started in 2009 when my co-founder Josh and I basically, you know, he had done a really big road trip across the U.S. going to kind of small museums and outside art projects, and I was headed off to live in Budapest in Hungary for a year and do some travel throughout Eastern Europe. And we shared a love of this kind of travel, of going to ossuaries and, you know, small museums that only have crochet objects in them. And, you know, we found that there wasn't a great resource for this kind of stuff, not just even to sort of say it was there, but also to kind of treat it with a certain level of real interest, you know, to really say, oh, this is interesting, and what's going on here? What's the real story behind this? So we built the project for us, really. We built it to have a resource that when we traveled, we could go and find incredible things. And so we made sure that people can submit stuff, you know, so that basically someone can say, I grew up, you know, 2 miles from this castle that this guy's been building in his backyard that's 16 stories tall. Like, that seems like an Atlas Obscura place. And so that's still how it works. And the book is the newest sort of incarnation of this, where we basically distilled down our 10,000 places online and said, let's take the best of the best, let's get the best stories, so that when you open this book up and, you know, flip to a random page, hopefully you get a sense of surprise and wonder at what's out there in the world.
And it's not just, you said it's around the world, it's not just Europe or anything like that, it's everywhere, right? So you're not, it's not one particular part of the world you're talking about.
Nope, it covers all 7 continents. We've even got a nice chunk of listings in Antarctica.
Oh, we've been in Antarctica. What's that like?
So there's a place I have not yet been. So that's one where we're relying on basically a set of researchers who are down there, who fell in love with the Atlas Obscura site and started, you know, submitting places and saying, you know what else is down here is this. Have you heard about Blood Falls, this 3-story waterfall that's leaking blood red liquid? And we said, no, we have not heard about that. Tell us more.
I would think it would just be a lot of penguins. If that's where penguins live, I guess a lot of them live there, right?
yes, there are. You got it right. That's the penguin one, I think.
Well, looking through the book and I wanted to kind of, you know, see what's around the U.S. and here in Florida's kind of known for unusual attractions. I guess before Disney was here, that's really what people came down to see, different kind of strange attractions. And you have a few from Florida, don't you?
Oh, we got a bunch. We have a number in the book and a bunch on the site. In the book, you know, we've got the Florida bathhouses near Gainesville. We've got Stiltsville near Miami, the famous Weeki-Wachee mermaids, which right. I think are pretty well known in Florida, but I still make the cut for us. It's just such a wonderful spot. And then a little more obscure is the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters in Okeechobee. I think it's Okeechobee. And that's, you know, a small museum where this man has dedicated his life to finding the skunk ape, which he believes is hiding in the Everglades. But and then, you know, on the site we have a bunch of stuff right there in Tampa as well. Like, we've got this little park that technically belongs to Cuba, sitting right there in the middle of Tampa.
Is that right? I lived up there for a while. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I should have known that.
Not far away from Tampa at Apollo Beach is the Big Bend Power Plant and Manatee Viewing Area.
That I know.
Basically, that one's a good one. I would really love to visit that.
They all gather around close to where the water's warmer. I think that's why they gather there, the manatees, right? At the power plant.
Yes,
yeah.
That seems to be the reason that they are hanging out there. But so it's a wide range. It's everything from something like we have Hong Kong Willie, which is this kind of recycled junk shop in Tampa. That we consider that to be an Atlas wonder, all the way up to a 200-foot crater in the Turkmenistan desert that's been on fire for 45 years. If it's something that kind of fills you with a certain sense of wonder and that maybe the world is more magical than you thought, we think it belongs in Atlas Obscura.
I thought this was a little strange. I know Thomas Edison has his home that he lived in Fort Myers for many years. You have one in here, a sealed test tube containing Edison's last breath. Is that where that is, in Fort Myers, or is it up in New Jersey?
It's not. It's actually in neither of those places. Although I will say that the estates in Florida, the Edison and Ford estates, are really sweet because Edison and Ford were these huge industrialists, but they were very close friends. And as Edison got older and was confined to a wheelchair, Ford would get into a wheelchair and they would have wheelchair races around those estates, which I find just very charming. But so as he was dying, Edison, there was a series of test tubes in the room with him, and basically once he died, they were sealed up and basically handed out as this is Edison's last breath. And a number of them went to Henry Ford, his close friend, and so one of them has ended up in the Ford Museum in Michigan. So you can go and check out this test tube and take a look at Edison's last breath.
I guess you can't disprove that it's his breath, so why not? Makes a good souvenir, or a curiosity item.
It almost certainly, the provenance is good. It seems like it was in the room with him at the time. Whether his breath is really still in there, that's a whole other question. But,
Well, it's a great idea for a book, and you have, I think, 600 entries in this book, and on the website, too. People can find more. But give out the website, Dylan. People get more information about this in the book.
Yep, it's atlasobscura.com, and if you go to atlasobscura.com/book, you can pick up a copy there. And yeah, we really hope that the book is kind of the perfect distilled version of the website. So if you want to, hand something to someone and say, this is going to give you a sense of surprise and wonder about what's in the world, hopefully we can do that.
And there are more items coming in all the time, I guess, right, on your website? Still get new things?
That's absolutely right. So people are submitting stuff every single day, and every day one of the funnest parts of this is to basically look at what people are sending in, and there's invariably something. You go, what is that? How have I never heard about this? I remember years ago. This is very early, 2009, and they weren't very well known yet. Someone submitted the living root bridges in India, which are these where they've taken the roots of two trees, grafted them together, and over a period of 15 years, the roots grow into this really strong living bridge that people use to get around the area. And I just remember thinking, I cannot believe I've been on this planet for this long, and this is the first time I'm hearing about these. So that's the kind of place we try and find.
Atlas Obscura, An Explorer's Guide to the World's Hidden Wonders is the name of the book. And we've been talking with Dylan Thuras. And Dylan, great to talk with you. Hope we can do it again. Thanks for being with us.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or Doug Miles Media.